We lost Congressman Elijah Cummings. Elijah Cummings was a friend of ours, a friend of the shows, a friend of all black people. Baltimore and the entire African American
community.
Community has lost a warrior in Elijah Cummings. Roland Martin.
Tom, Sybil, Sherry, Kim, you're absolutely right. We have lost a huge warrior in Elijah Cummings, dying early this morning. It was interesting because last night I was emceeing the Spirit of Democracy Awards put on by the National Coalition of Black City Participation. Congresswoman Maxine Waters was one of the honorees, and so was Congressman Cummings. And Tommy Dortch, who was the chair, asked folks to certainly pray for him and for his family. And he said, we'll present this to him at a later date. And so this morning when Sybil called me, said he had passed away, was just shocked. A month ago, I sent his wife Maya a text because neither one of them were at the CBC Phoenix Awards dinner, and the absence was notable. And she said, thanks for reaching out. She said, he's definitely fighting, and she said, we're not going to let Satan win this. And she said, keep praying. But a few days ago, Donna Edwards, former congresswoman, had sent an email out to various folks saying that the situation was grave. But here was somebody who was a tough fighter. And the thing that I guess what sticks out at me, it was about 2 or 3 months ago. Stanley Nelson, they had an airing of his documentary Boss at the Smithsonian Museum for African American History and Culture, and Congressman Cummings was there in a wheelchair. And they were showing the clips, and I saw him. And I snuck up behind him, leaned into his ear, and I said, "Keep kicking Trump's ass." and so he, because it was playing, so he slowly turns around and he sees my face, and he just busts out laughing. I mean, he just so the image I had was just him, just this huge laugh, and see my face, and that was the thing. And it was interesting because you would see Congressman Cummings. Sometimes you didn't want to approach him because you couldn't tell whether that was a scowl or whether that was just the regular look. But man, he had this absolutely great laugh. I mean, when he would just crack up laughing, I mean, he could. Oh my God, fill the room. So it was always great seeing him. Always great talking with him. I think now we also understand with him fighting for the last 4 years why he didn't run for the United States Senate. Because it was perplexing to me that he didn't run because he could have easily won that in a cakewalk. And I remember at the CBC town hall, I moderated that. It was in 2015, and I was backstage and I kept pressing him because this morning I was trying to find those photos that we took backstage, and I was pressing him, and he was giving the answers. And I was like, man, these answers ain't good enough. Like, how is he not running? And I think it was the health issues, and he wasn't in a wheelchair with this, so it wasn't like it was the last couple of years. But I think it was there because I said there had to be some reason why he didn't run for the U.S. Senate, but he chose not to. But certainly he has been a strong leader and absolutely just a phenomenal man. I think all of us will certainly miss him, and it's just a huge figure among the progression in Black Caucus, and losing him at 68.
Roland, as you said, he had been in poor health, but it was almost like a Franklin Roosevelt thing for me, in that only some pictures would you see him in a wheelchair or on the scooter. Otherwise, you saw him in his position as the chairman of the Oversight Committee of the House, and he, in that imposing chair and looking over and conducting business.
Oh, absolutely. And look, I mean, he fought to the end. I mean, the reality is he was not in his office this week because he had gone back in for a procedure. And again, we knew it was back and forth. I would often text his wife, Maya, who first of all, who was an unbelievable woman, just renowned in her own right, and had not seen much of her as well. And we know, of course, when the Orange won, the attacked Baltimore and attacked Congressman Cummings, he was out there as well. And shortly after that week, their house was broken into there in Baltimore. But he was still someone who was showing up for work, who was doing the work and holding folks accountable. And that's what we needed: a stern, fair, as well as courageous brother. Speaking truth to power, and so we certainly will miss Congressman Elijah Cummings.
Yeah. Rest in peace.